Ernest Goes to Camp. This is the first film in the long-running Ernest franchise. It was originally conceived by Bob Iger at the Indianapolis 500. Yeah. Iger noticed in the stands that the fans' reaction to the Ernest character and Jim Varney was overwhelmingly positive compared to the reaction to Mickey Mouse, which it is a NASCAR event, so, blue-collar hero of Ernest. That, of course, they love this guy more than the corporate rat. Iger got together with the creators of Ernest and pitched the idea of a movie deal, and thus began the Ernest franchise. And the world was a better place for it. Hold on, I'm missing something here. This is like the closest Ernest thing that I have. It's corporate rat right there. Before I watched this to make this video, I thought that I had already seen this way back. Turns out, no, I've never seen this movie. So this was great. First time viewing. I recently did a video on Ernest Goes to Africa. And that's what kind of started this whole, I want to watch all the Ernest movies. Huge fan of Scared Stupid. But I figure I'm just going to go back to the OG and watch all of them. So, was Bob Iger correct? Was Ernest the character that America was missing? Is this movie any good at all? Let's find out. The movie starts many years ago. A group of Native Americans are doing some kind of chant. They have this guy tied up to a cross. They're throwing hatchets, knives, shooting arrows at him. But this is a good thing, I guess. He's not reacting to it. Maybe he's a man now?
Now you're a man!
Flash forward, we're at a summer camp called Camp Kickany. Kickakee. I don't remember. I hope I got that right. Kickakee. We're going with Kickakee. And there's our hero, Ernest. He's on a ladder fixing up the camp sign, messing with the ropes, and he does this kind of hop on the ladder as he moves to every rope. I love this. It's so like cartoonish and such a fun introduction. You know right away this guy is going to be pretty silly. Ernest is telling us that it's his dream to be a counselor at this camp, and that's what he's working towards. And one day he's going to be one. But for now, he is the camp's handyman, and we watch him as he drives around the golf cart, wrecks the golf cart, very aggressively unclogs toilets, all the things that you would expect from a camp maintenance man. The buses arrive. The boys are back in town. This is an all-boys camp, total sausage fest, and the head counselor gives them all this speech about how this campground is built on old Native American land. And this is where they used to test their young men, the Braves, and where they would become men, warriors. And that's what these boys are going to go through. They are going to go through the ceremony of blade, stone, and arrow. The whole time this is happening, Ernest is stuck in a bus. Some of the guys, they smashed his fingers in the window. I guess Ernest just isn't very well liked by the campers. After his little bus incident, Ernest goes to meet the nurse, Nurse St. Cloud. And then she says something about how he needs to get his shots, and she pulls out the biggest needle. Is this a thing for camp? I grew up going to church camp. I never had to get shots at camp for anything. What could you possibly have to get a shot for? Rabies? Back at the front office, the head counselor is talking to the younger counselors about this new program they've got for disadvantaged youth, and that they're going to be bringing in a cabin full of boys to join up and try to integrate them. This is to help them get their lives back on track. These other younger counselors are not about this at all. And what's really weird is that the head counselor, he seems like such a nice, sweet guy, but all these younger counselors are kind of just like fascist pricks. Like, I hate these guys. They're so mean and like militaristic. Ernest is outside trying to install a window as they're having this conversation. Of course, he messes it up. Of course, it breaks. At the beginning of the movie, he does something with the golf cart and it kind of runs off on its own, and it's been running around the campground. Apparently, this whole time it goes by here. This is a running gag throughout the whole movie. Ernest is tasked with going and picking up these disadvantaged boys, and that's where we get acquainted with them. We've got like a thief. One, I guess, is like in the mob.
Hey, it's me, Bobby Master Choli. Hey, fuck you looking at?
they're all total shitheads. What really sucks about this is we kind of get like introductions like, oh, this guy's good at this and this guy's good at this. This never plays into the movie at all, which I found to be a little weird. And then we meet Moose, who seems to be the runt of this whole group. He actually seems like a pretty nice kid. Moose is such a great character. I love him. He's a standout. He's great. Although this whole scene may be just a tad bit problematic, having the token black kid carry all the white kids' bags and luggage like a slave. They all hop on the bus and head to camp, and then one of them covers Ernest's eyes on the way there. They're asking him questions, and he's swerving out of the way of vehicles, and somehow they make it. The only time he actually crashes the bus is when they park it at the campground. And this is another strike against Ernest and his dreams of becoming a camp counselor. He keeps pulling shit like this. He's never going to be a counselor. The new guys go into their cabin, and it's wrecked. It looks like a bunch of Sasquatches had an orgy in there. Then the new guys head to the cafeteria. All the campers are looking at them like, who are these punks? This is when we meet the camp cooks. These two guys are, from my experience, reoccurring characters in Ernest movies. One seems to be building some kind of contraption. They're also talking about like putting modeling clay in some type of egg recipe. I wasn't really sure exactly. It was very bizarre. Then, of course, naturally, a fight breaks out between the disadvantaged youths and all of the campers. Ernest comes in to try and break it up like the nice guy that he is, and what happens? All of the campers turn on him, and they collectively beat his ass now. Why are they so mean to him? One of the new guys smacks him in the face with a lunch tray so hard that it actually makes like it gets stuck to his face, and there's an impression of his, this is great. This is just awesome, like practical fun slapstick stuff. They use a pan to get that off of his face, a little blunt force trauma, and then a Coke machine falls on top of him. Like, he's got to be dead, right? Out on the lake, everybody's swimming and horsing around. The new guys show up, and the lifeguard makes them all get in, except for Moose, because he can't swim. Yeah. So what's this racist prick do? He picks him up and he throws him in. Ernest runs to save him, thank God. I mean, this whole thing feels like a hate crime. The punks decide that they're going to get back on this lifeguard, so they go and tip his chair over into the water, which I guess he breaks his leg. But that means that the camp is now down a counselor. It's time for Ernest to step up. And he's fucking jacked, man. He gets on his hands and knees and he's hugging the counselor's thigh and kissing on his legs. It's very erotic. From there, Ernest takes the boys out into the woods. None of them seem to like him except for Moose. He saved his life, and Moose just seems like a nice guy. He tells them about being in Vietnam. In Ernest Goes to Africa, he talks about being in Nam. I had never heard the reference of him being in Nam. I guess this is where it comes from. Ernest is a vet. Salute. Respect the troops. Now we go to a quarry, and this is where we meet our main bad guys. Crater. It's a mining company. It's run by a guy named Sherman. He's a real smarmy piece of shit. There is a large deposit of petrocite on this Native American land. He wants it. The campground's also on this land. He wants all of it. And the dude who owns it won't sell it. His lawyer's telling him, hey, he won't go for the deal. And he's like, God damn it, make it happen. I don't care if you gotta kill everybody. I want that fucking land. Hate this guy. Meanwhile, Ernest is with the boys, lighting his leg on fire, getting attacked by badgers. The boys bandage his entire body up and then unravel him with a bus. Crater's lawyer is talking with the nurse and her grandfather, who is the owner of this land. They're trying to get him to sell. He's not budging. St. Cloud, the grandpa, that's actually the actor Iron Eyes Cody. You might know him from the old 70s PSA about littering. He's the crying Native American on the side of the road. He's really well known for playing a lot of Native Americans in older movies, westerns mostly. Not Native American at all. He's Italian. Mamma mia, mamma mia. God damn it. Back to the cooks. They're working on this contraption where they toss just kind of whatever into it and it pukes stuff back out at them. This was also a lot of fun. I like these kind of weird, big, crazy gadgets that do weird, crazy stuff. We get this whole bit of Ernest. He builds his own contraption to cook hot dogs and chicken and some kind of sauce, like scoops. I don't know what the hell this thing was. It's got a belt drive on it, and he wraps one of the belts to his feet while he's just chilling in a lawn chair, and it pulls him into the fire. It's kind of funny. I don't know. This is one of those bits where it's like maybe a little too long. The camp competition begins. The disadvantaged youths, they're not feeling this. They think this is stupid. This is for dorks. Each group of boys needs to build something Native American themed. Ernest suggests that they build a teepee, and they're like, fuck you, man. This is rigged against us. There's no way that we're going to win, even if we did make the best thing. Ernest then goes to meet up with Nurse St. Cloud and her grandfather. He gets attacked by fire ants, and grandfather's just like, this white man is crazy. Or would it be more like, hey, this white man is crazy? Because he's Italian. The boys visit Ernest while he's in the infirmary, and they bring him some flowers, which turns out to be poison ivy. Why are these guys such dicks to him? Like, what has he done to them for them to be so fucking mean and cruel? Miss St. Cloud sees this, and she's like, boys, why are you being such fucking pricks to him? He is only trying to help you. And they're like, damn, you right. Back in Ernest's cabin, he's very down on himself. He cannot figure out why these guys do not like him. He's telling all this to his pet turtle, Pokey, who then bites his nose. The boys come in and say, and I quote, we can jerk that thing off in a second. Then they all sing happy together, and the golf cart's still going. It goes by. It's a very special moment. The boys get to work on the teepee. They're stoked. They might actually win this if they put their minds to it. Moose asks Ernest if we win this competition, do you think we could stay at the camp forever? And Ernest is like, that's not really up to me. It's the saddest scene of all time. We get a scene of Sherman. He's shooting bottles when the lawyer shows up and says that St. Cloud won't budge. This just pisses him off more. He's like, listen, motherfucker, get me that land one way or another. Pow! The teepee is really coming along. The boys are proud of it. It's really charming, actually. There have been these two boys who have been eyeing the new guys. They're kind of dicks, and they're always trying to find ways to sabotage and fuck with them. But they're watching the boys from afar. This cannot be good. They all leave and go to a campfire with the St. Clouds. Grandfather tells them all the story about the brave and how they are all following the path of the brave. The boys return to their teepee and it's on fire. Those two fucking dickheads set their teepee on fire. And one of the idiots left his canteen behind. It's got his name written on it. So the boys go, find him, and they all fight. The head counselor wants to send these boys back, but Ernest is like, dude, come on, please. He goes and hypes the boys up to rebuild the teepee again. Sherman's had enough of this shit. The lawyer's not getting things done, so he shows up personally to talk to Grandpa. He's offering him all kinds of big royalties, big percentages, and Grandpa's just moving around awkwardly. Turns out he doesn't speak English. Ernest shows up and starts communicating with him because he knows sign language, apparently. Sherman sees this and is like, hey bro, wait up. I'm with the conservation department. I just need him to sign this. And Grandpa unknowingly signs over the land to Sherman. And now the camp's closing. Crater starts moving in all their stuff the next day, which seems really fast to me. The kids are still there. None of them have left. Ernest takes matters into his own hands. He goes out to the Crater guys, confronts them, and is like, hey, who the fuck's in charge around here? And this big beefcake of a man comes up and chokes him out. The Crater boy's like, oh, hell yeah, man, I fucking love this. Hell yeah, kick his ass. He's smacking Ernest around, and Moose starts biting him, and he tosses him away like a rag doll. Ernest loses pretty bad. He gets the shit beat out of him. And the boys are like, damn, that was embarrassing. Except good old Moose, because Moose is a good guy. Back in the infirmary, Ernest gets really upset and sentimental. This camp means a lot to him, and being a counselor meant a lot to him. And then he sings this song called I'm Glad It's Raining, and it is so sad. I love it. We get a sad montage of everybody being sad. The boys decide that they are not going to leave, and the nurse reprimands them again because for some reason, they're still like, Ernest is an idiot. But then they go to see him and they're like, we're gonna stop these guys. Come on. The boys go and steal smoke bombs from the work site. Why Crater has smoke bombs, I have no idea. They're a mining company. And they all start work on this giant contraption. It's at this point where the movie has become weirdly obsessed with people playing with their switchblades. Like, everybody has a switchblade, and they're flipping it around. It's just something I noticed is really weird. It's revealed what they've been working on, and it's some kind of backwoods Mad Max war rig called the Rat Patrol. Remember those two dickheads who burned the teepee down earlier? They show up to help, and apparently everybody's cool with that. Fuck those guys, dude. Run them over with the war rig. They're setting up their ambush on the Crater guys. Grandpa's putting war paint on everybody. We're preparing to roll out. To death. We don't care. We're taking this place back or we're all dying. Nurse St. Cloud shows up and she's like, Ernest, you can't. And he's like, no. I don't care. These men have become very radicalized. The boys attack, and they're shooting fire arrows at all of the workers. Imagine going to lunch. You're just some guy who works for like a mining company, you mine gravel or something, and you're having your freaking sandwich and just flaming arrows start coming out of the woods. Like legit terrorism. They start blasting food vomit all over them, and Grandpa's shooting like play place balls at them, and he's like, ha, ha, ha. They catapult the smoke bombs using a boat, which is really fun. And now these guys are getting bombed by these kids. Like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. Then they catapult Pokey and some other turtles with parachutes to attack these guys. This is such a great scene. How can you not like this? If you don't like this, get the fuck out of my channel. They start launching lantern rockets. Like, they've got straight up IEDs. They're blowing up trucks with them. And then they fling a toilet, which causes a massive explosion. I would be so amazed if people didn't die from this. One of the dudes calls Sherman. He's like, oh, fuck, man, you gotta get down here. We're all fucking dying. And they bring out a bulldozer, which smashes the food vomiter, and then drive it over to the campground where it starts leveling the cabins. And who shows up in this time of need? The golf cart, still running. I don't know how long this thing's been going, but it's here now. So they cram it full of explosives and flammable stuff. Ernest drives it like a suicide bomber into the bulldozer. Beefcake gets out of it, and Ernest whaps him. Sherman then shows up and legit tries to kill Ernest. He is shooting at him with a fucking gun. He shoots at him 3 times, but because of the path of the brave and Ernest being on the path, he's not hit. Point blank, can't hit him. It's at this point that Sherman says, I'm not fucking with witch doctor, voodoo magic, Native American spirits. Fuck that, I'm out. And he runs away. Nurse St. Cloud shows up with the cops and she's like, hey, a judge filed a restraining order and the camp is saved. Yay! With the camp saved, it now goes year-round, which is great. The disadvantaged boys can stay forever. Ernest falls off the ladder like at the beginning of the movie. The sign falls on top of him. Everybody gathers around and they're like, fuck, who cares? And the golf cart is still alive somehow. End movie. Decent. Not bad. I think that some of the other Ernest movies that I've seen are very good, very fun. I like them a lot. This one, being the first, I expected maybe a little more out of it, but it's still good. The soundtrack, for one, really liked it. The whole movie felt very professionally done, as opposed to some of the others that feel like they were more like straight to video releases. Has some really good characters in it. Most of the people in this were memorable. Moose being a huge standout. And there are some legitimately funny bits. I laughed out loud several times throughout this. Some of the jokes are pretty dated, though, and there is just some weirdness happening every once in a while, but it's all very charming. It's very fun. Ernest, of course, is such a fun character. It's understandable, at least to me, why this was such a hit. This is a blue-collar hero. It's a myth of the Midwest, man. I love this guy. They said while shooting this that Jim Varney would go on benders, like, for weeks before they started. He never showed up on set, fucked up, but that he would just get blasted and then show up. And they do the movie. Also, a lot of his lines apparently are improvised, which that makes sense knowing that now. Because some of the things that he says and does, like it maybe goes on a little too long, or maybe he's just like trying to work out the bit, in the moment. Despite some mediocre reviews, which is valid, the movie did really well. It made $23.5 million off of a $3.5 million budget. So I'd say that was pretty good. Needless to say, Ernest Goes to Camp was a success, and this would spawn the franchise that would go on for 2 decades. Personally, I can't wait to dive into the next one, which is Ernest Saves Christmas. But what do you think? Have you seen Ernest Goes to Camp? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and thanks for watching. See ya. Bye.